What's up, everyone? This is Lane from TrendFriend. I just wanted to show you guys this new feature on the 1 minute scalping indicator that allows you to filter signals using other indicators. So this is great if you want to trade with the trend, which in my opinion is the safer way to do things. But let me go ahead and just show you exactly how this is used. So basically, we've given you three different options here so you can filter signals by up to three different external indicators. So if I were to turn all of these off, you just get the normal signals once it reloads here. Okay, so now if we turn this back on, let's go ahead and turn on the, let's do the moving averages. So if you use our NE8 moving averages script, I updated that to have this specific output. You can't use any indicator. It needs to have an output value that gives a 1 for bullish trends, -1 for bearish trends, and 0 for neutral or no trades. You can add this code if you have your own indicators. I'll provide that in the description. But basically, that's how the 1 minute scalping indicator knows what signals it can give. So if it does not have a 1 or a -1 value, it will paint the candles gray and it won't give any signals. But if it's in a 1, which means bullish, then it will give only buy signals. If it's in a -1, that means bearish and it will only give sell signals. So let's go ahead and set up the NE8 moving averages trend direction. On the NE8 moving averages, when you're using one of these external indicators, it just needs to be on your chart, and then whatever settings you have set on these indicators is what will affect it. So I have all these turned off except for the 200 and the 500 EMA. So that means that it will give a bullish trend if price is above the 200 and above the 500. It'll give a bearish trend if price is below the 200 and below the 500. This NE8 moving averages has been updated to have this type of output, so you can use this on the 1 minute scalping indicator. So that's all you need to do there is just set up these to however, whatever ones you want. You could use 4 moving averages if you want, just one, whatever. Set that up, come in here, turn this one on, and just make sure you're using this parameter, NE8 moving averages trend direction to send to external indicators. These other ones up here will not give you the correct values for that, so you need to make sure you're using the correct one, which is this one, trend direction to send to external indicators. Okay, so that's the 1 minute scalping, the NE8 moving averages setup, and you can see how it's just giving buys here, it's giving sells here, it's popping up past it, so it's giving buys and sells there. But that's how you do it with the NE8 moving averages. Another good way to do this is to use our trend trading indicator. So if we switch this, I have it set to the time frame 1 and 2 are on, with the 60-minute and 240-minute, which is 1 hour and 4 hours. So if we go over here and just switch this one to the trend trading indicator, trend direction to send to external indicators, then that will use the trend trading indicator as a source now. Just got to give it a second to reload here. And now you can see that it's only giving signals according to the trend trading indicator. If we wanted to switch that up and use the higher time frame price action scanner, this one is set to just use the 60-minute. So we come back in here, adjust this, go down to the higher time frame price action scanner, and down here we have trend direction to send to external indicators. Select that, and now it will reload. So it'll only give bullish signals across here, and when it flipped to bearish, it'll give bearish signals across there. So that's how you do it if you want to use just one indicator. We give you up to 3 that you can use. So if I wanted to use the trend trading indicator as well for extra Confluence, we just come back up here, add that one. We could also use the NE8 moving averages. That one's already set there. So there we could have all three of them on, and then it will only give signals when all three of these are giving bullish trends or all three of them are giving bearish trends. You can see that it just paints the candles gray when we don't have a trend, or if it's in a sell signal during a bullish trend, or if it's in a buy signal during a bearish trend. So that's how that worked. Again, they use a value, these indicators have to have a value of 1, 0, or -1, which you can check by clicking over here. And if you click data window, it'll show you right down here, trend direction to send to external indicators, -1, because it's in a bearish trend. So I also added that parameter to the 1-minute scalping indicator, which you can see here. So if you wanted to use two 1-minute scalping indicators, I'll show you how to do that. So I have another one on the chart here, and I'm using the higher time frame candle filter set to 15 minutes. So that's basically just saying we can only get buy signals if price is above the previous 15-minute closed candle. And we can only get sell signals once price is below the previous 15-minute candle that is already closed. You still have to have, a candle that gives that's signal worthy once you've passed those levels. But this is another way that you can also do this. So we would just come back in here. Let's turn these two off, and we'll go to the 1-minute scalping indicator and use the signal direction to send to external indicators. So now we can use this second 1-minute scalping indicator that we have on our chart to filter it as well. So if you want to, catch trends earlier, you can, but you also get, some of this, which is why I like to use a little bit longer, like, the 60, 240 from these other indicators. So that's how that works. It's pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to the higher time frame price action scanner because I think that's a great way to do things. And now I'm also going to show you if you were to have, so let's say we turned this one on, but we forgot to set the value on it. So it's just set to like the standard high, low, close, close 4. Okay, so that's not giving us a 1, -1, 0 value as an output. So what it's going to do is you'll see everything will be gray, but it's also going to warn you up here, external indicator filter 2 turned on, but is using an incorrect source. So that's just letting you know that, hey, because it is easy to forget if you have these on. So you just come back in here and either turn that one off or switch it to a valid source here, the trend direction to send to external indicators. So let's go ahead and turn that one off, and that should do it for that. You can also, sometimes it takes a little while to load because it's using data from other indicators. So if you do have a loading issue, just click this button right here, and it'll get it to go ahead and reload for you, and you don't have to like remove it and reapply your settings and all that stuff. I will provide this code for you so that you can add this type of output to your own indicators. Again, it needs to be given output of 1 for bullish, -1 for bearish, 0 for neutral. And the best way to do this is to use a plot function and set it to have display of data window only. So that will make sure that it doesn't apply the plot value of 0, 1, and -1 to your chart. And it'll just apply it over here in the data window so that it's accessible. Because if you don't do that, then you can see this is at 18,000 right here. When you reload a chart, then it will try to show all of the plots on the chart, and it will resize this chart basically like this so that it can show a value down here of 0, even though it's not actually plotted. It'll try to do that. And to avoid that, you just want to make sure that your output, it's using a plot function, but just make sure you set it to display display.data window is the code for it. But again, I'll put that code in the description below, so that way you guys can just copy and paste that and adjust the parameters to your however you want it to be according to the indicator that you're customizing. And then you can use that to filter the 1 minute scalping indicator like I just showed you here. So you can do that for oscillators, volatility detectors, trend indicators, anything you want really, volume indicators. All of that is usable. You just have to have the correct output for it so that the 1 minute scalping indicator can read it correctly and give you the right signals. So I hope that clears things up so you guys know how to use this correctly. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on TradingView, and you can also drop a comment below and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.